Germany is a country known for its engineering excellence, but can they also impress with their megaprojects? From the longest underwater road and rail tunnel in the world to a $33 billion investment for a new factory, and from a massive power plant with an uncertain future to an impressive train station that was rotated by 90 degrees. Here are the top 10 most expensive megaprojects in Germany. Let's start off with number 10, the Elbphilharmonie, with a cost of more than $900 million. This megaproject quickly became Hamburg's iconic landmark after its completion. It's a concert hall with a truly unique design. The base of the building is a former warehouse with an unchanged old brick design, which blends in perfectly with the surrounding buildings. In contrast with the base, the upper half of the building has a modern design with its glass exterior and wave-shaped roof. However, its unique design came with a price, as the construction of the Elbphilharmonie didn't go very smoothly. The project was initiated privately by one real estate developer in 2007 and scheduled to be completed 3 years later at a cost of $82 million. 1 year later, the initial plan was shattered when the estimated cost of the concert hall nearly doubled. This caused delays in construction, which resulted in a further increase in the project's cost. The Elbphilharmonie finally opened 6 years later after its planned completion at a final cost of nearly $1 billion. That's more than 11 times larger than the initial estimated cost. After its first opening to the public, the project received a massive international response in many major press outlets. While most of the reception was quite positive, there were also complaints about the acoustics of the concert hall. Despite this, more than 2.6 million visitors have already gone to the Elbphilharmonie, and the project is definitely one of the most interesting places to visit in Hamburg. Now moving past the $1 billion mark, let's explore even bigger projects. At number 9, we have the Datteln 4 power plant with a cost of $1.6 billion. This massive power plant block was temporarily dubbed the largest illegal construction site in Germany. But to understand why, we need to look at its origins. From the 1960s, the Datteln coal-based power plant powered 20% of German railways and heated 45% of households in Datteln. During that time, it consisted of 3 blocks. However, all 3 blocks had their operation license valid until only 2012. So a few years before the license would expire, it was proposed to build a new block, Datteln 4. Datteln 4 was supposed to have an electrical output even greater than the other 3 blocks combined. This capacity would make it one of the most efficient coal power plants in the whole world when compared to its size. However, the project did not come without headaches. Shortly after construction began, an endless legal battle ensued over the development plan and a pollutant emission permit. Both were withdrawn and reinstated multiple times, leading to countless delays. The plant finally opened in 2020 and is currently operating, even with the legal situation still to be fully resolved. Only time will tell if there's an actual future for Germany's last modern coal plant. Next up is number 8, the Frankfurt 4 skyscraper complex with a cost of $2.1 billion. Frankfurt, the financial hub of Germany, is renowned for its prominent skyline. Remarkably, it boasts 18 of the 20 tallest buildings in the country. Now, the city is set to redefine its skyline with its current most prestigious construction. 4 will create a whole new quarter in the city, containing offices, apartments, hotels, and shops. The project will consist of 4 skyscrapers connected by a single base. These will have a very clever architectural design. The spacing between them and their facade will create a distinct 360-degree panorama of the whole complex, while the orientation of the skyscrapers, together with their vertical folds, will allow for maximal sunshine even at the foot of the buildings. 4 is part of the plan to revitalize Frankfurt's financial district. The first idea was proposed all the way back in 1999, when Deutsche Bank wanted to build a new high-rise building to replace their older one. However, after 9/11 happened, the project didn't see any progress for more than 15 years. Only after a new developer stepped in, the decision on its current design was made. Soon after the demolition of the old Deutsche Bank building in 2018, construction began. Currently, it's making steady progress and is supposed to open to the public in 2025. At number 7, we have the Hohe See and Albatross wind parks with a cost of $2.4 billion. We've already mentioned Germany's plans to phase out fossil fuel energy and to gradually transition to clean energy. This vision is slowly taking shape, as renewable energy already forms 44% of Germany's overall energy production. One of the projects constituting this production is the Hohe See and Albatros. Both separate wind parks are located in the North Sea near the German-Dutch border and are combined into a single project. Thanks to its location on the open sea, it can make use of strong sea winds while also completely avoiding noise pollution. However, this location also comes with a huge disadvantage, as construction is much more difficult. During its planning phase, everything had to be considered: the weather, the waves, and how firm the seafloor is. What's more, the waters are 40 meters deep at the location, so the amount of material needed for the turbines was enormous. These alone required almost 10 times as much steel as was used to build the Eiffel Tower. Despite the difficult conditions, construction went very smoothly and was finished in 2020. Currently, the wind park has an electrical output of 640 megawatts, which is enough to provide electricity for more than 700,000 households. Now let's move on with number 6, Frankfurt Airport Terminal 3, with a cost of $4.3 billion. Frankfurt Airport is by far the busiest airport in Germany, peaking at 70 million passengers in 2019. To accommodate such a large number of people and to further compete with other European airports, Frankfurt Airport is building a whole new terminal. The terminal is planned to have 3 piers, G, H, and J, which together will increase the airport's capacity by 19 million passengers annually. A 4th pier, K, is also included in the plans as a future expansion, but whether it will be built depends on the number of passengers in the future. Currently, 2 piers are still under construction, while Pier G is already finished. Under normal circumstances, Pier G would already be open to the public. However, it currently looks more like an empty warehouse than a terminal. When COVID-19 hit in 2020, the annual passenger count dropped by 73%, and the whole airport is still recovering from that. Since it will take some time to reach its peak annual passengers again, it's not profitable to open the new pier yet. Instead, the plan is to finish the rest first, and then open Terminal 3 in 2026. Next up on the list is number 5, Tesla's Berlin-Brandenburg Gigafactory, with a cost of $5.5 billion. As Tesla grew larger and larger, the company's market eventually reached the entirety of Europe. The only way to meet the demand of that market was by importing their products from other continents. To improve this inefficient strategy, Tesla decided to expand to Europe by building a gigafactory there.
Decided to put the Tesla Gigafactory Europe in the Berlin area,
which would produce batteries, powertrains, and the Tesla Model Y. When this expansion was first announced, many European countries began competing with each other in order to be chosen as its location. This is understandable, as the Gigafactory should provide a great boost to the country's economy. At the end, a location near Berlin in Germany was chosen. Multiple factors contributed to its selection, like its strategic position in Europe and its proximity to Berlin-Brandenburg Airport. When the construction finally began, the factory faced lengthy administrative delays. This led to the CEO of the company, Elon Musk, sending a letter to authorities criticizing Germany's complex planning requirements. However, after only 3 years of construction, it finally opened in 2022. Currently, the factory is providing jobs for more than 10,000 people and is still slowly ramping up its production. As it's the single Tesla facility of this scale on the whole continent, it eventually plans to reach production of 750,000 automobiles per year. At number 4, we have Berlin-Brandenburg Airport with a cost of $7.5 billion. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport is currently the single commercial airport serving Berlin and the Brandenburg surrounding area. Despite being open for only 3 years, the project has a long history. After the fall of the Berlin Wall in the last century, there were 3 separate airports serving Berlin and the surrounding area. Since all 3 were becoming more and more congested, there was an idea to build a single mega airport to replace them. But due to legal complications, this idea took over 15 years to finally be put into action. Construction was initially expected to take 5 years at a cost of $2 billion. Due to severe underestimates of the construction costs, the project faced huge financial problems. This resulted in another 9-year-long delay in construction and the price tag massively increasing. To make things even worse, the COVID-19 pandemic hit just before the opening in October of 2020. Thus, the airport required further expenses to maintain the lack of passengers. However, Berlin-Brandenburg Airport finally operated under normal conditions in 2022, with around 20 million passengers, and this number should rise even further in the future. If you're enjoying this video, subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Your support allows us to produce better quality videos and continue on this journey. Moving into the top 3, we have the Fehmarn Belt Tunnel with a cost of $8.3 billion. Fehmarn Island, located in the Baltic Sea, serves as a connecting link between Germany and Denmark. This link enables the route from Hamburg to Copenhagen in an almost straight line. However, to cross the sea between the two countries, it's necessary to take a ferry. To remove this bottleneck, the Fehmarn Belt Tunnel is under construction, consisting of 2 tunnels. The first one will connect Germany to Fehmarn and replace the current old bridge, which wouldn't be able to hold the increased traffic load. Instead, the tunnel will handle the increased traffic, while the bridge will only serve pedestrians and cyclists. The second one will connect Fehmarn to Lolland and replace the current hour-long ferry ride bottleneck. To connect the 2 islands, it will need to be 18 kilometers long, which will make it the longest combined road and rail tunnel in the entire world. What's more, they will open a completely new railway route. This will improve the entire railway infrastructure in the region, allowing for a more direct connection between Germany and Denmark. Due to the project's scale, it's planned to be finished in 2029 at a total cost of $8.3 billion, split between the 2 countries. However, as we'll soon discover, this cost is relatively small compared to the most expensive project in this video. Next up is number 2, the Stuttgart 21 railway expansion. Stuttgart 21, a $10.4 billion megaproject that was so controversial that it even resulted in violence. Stuttgart was a key transportation hub in Germany for a long time, serving as a major intersection for various railway lines. However, the old infrastructure around Stuttgart was highly inefficient and outdated. In this pressing need of renovation, the project Stuttgart 21 was proposed to solve this problem. The train station was moved underground and turned 90 degrees. It's being transformed from a terminal station into a through station, which makes connectivity with other cities much better. What's really special about this is its roof. It will have a completely original design, thanks to its shell-like pillars. A completely new approach was chosen for this, which is difficult and costly to build. Therefore, the glass domes provide daylight to the station. In addition, other very difficult work was being carried out. For example, this building was put on stilts because it's a listed building, and a total of almost 60 kilometers of new tunnels were dug. Overall, Stuttgart 21 will be a huge upgrade, which will massively cut travel times in the region. Even though it's very impressive from an engineering point of view, there were many problems and also great opposition to the project, mainly because the initial cost increased more than threefold. This opposition climaxed in 2009 when Stuttgart police resorted to unjustified violence against the people during one of the protests against Stuttgart 21. Hundreds of people were injured, and one of them even permanently lost his eyesight. The numerous protests resulted in a referendum 2 years later. However, with almost 60% of the voters wanting construction to continue, the project persisted and is supposed to finish in 2025. On the top of our list is the Intel Giga factory with a cost of $33 billion. At more than triple the price of Stuttgart 21, we have the most expensive megaproject in Germany. It's the Intel Semiconductor Gigafactory, planned to be built in Magdeburg. To compete against Samsung, Nvidia, and other chip manufacturers, Intel adopted a new strategy called IDM 2.0. With this strategy, Intel plans to manufacture chips even for third-party companies. To successfully carry it out, Intel needs to further expand its supply chain to other parts of the world. This led to the decision to invest as much as $85.8 billion in projects all around Europe. That includes factories in France, Poland, and most importantly, one in Germany. Germany should also greatly benefit from the Gigafactory, as it will provide jobs for tens of thousands of people and become much more self-sufficient in the microchip market. The project was estimated to start construction in early 2023 and to finish 4 years later. However, this plan has already fallen apart because financing issues are already surfacing because of rising energy and material costs. What do you think? Which of these projects is the most impressive, and which one maybe shouldn't be built? Let